Lovely night in the Sam's Club parking lot, and I just finished doing my Sunday morning coffee talk live. So we are now getting on the road. We are on our way to Pictograph Cave State Park, which is 11 miles away. And this is Sunday, August the 3rd. It is now 10:08 in the morning. About 77 degrees outside, according to Henry, which I think is probably pretty accurate. And it's a beautiful day. And hey, we're going to end the day at a brewery casino. What could be better? So, pretty excited about all that. And I hope you are too. As always, thanks for coming along for the ride. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. Alright, we'll see what happens next. GoPros, stop recording.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Straight out ahead of us there is that cliff face that I saw yesterday that I was really admiring. Of course, the lighting is not giving it its best face today, but it really is beautiful. And I think that that's the Yellowstone River that we're going to be crossing. And then we're going to be following it. I'm pretty sure it's the Yellowstone, and we're going to be following it for quite a while. Quite a few parks around this area. You know, within the town of Billings. There's a better view of the cliff, maybe. I don't know, it looks pretty dark in the camera compared to what it looks like in real life. But anyway, a lot of parks set aside in Billings, so that's pretty cool. Park hours 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the sign that said that the road dead ends at Pictograph Cave State Park in just about 2 miles. This was also designated as a Billings scenic route when we got off of the freeway or got onto this road. This is old US 87. It's slinky? No, that's not the right word. Curvy, definitely. Twisty. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe. And of course we ascended to the top of the hill, which still was below 4,000 feet in elevation. And now we're descending. Boy, it'd be easy to go off into that driveway. And some big potholes here. Little subsidence on the left there. This road could use a little maintenance. There's somebody coming out of the park. There's no camping here, I don't think. I saw. But there's supposed to be a 3/4 of a mile hike that gets us to the Pictographs. So we still got 1.5 miles of this to go. And I'm sure it's not all that interesting to watch me slowly negotiate all these turns. So we'll pick you up when we get there. GoPros, stop it. Whoa, look at that. Alright, pretty rock formations. Maybe I'll just let the camera run after all. And you know what the difference between pictographs and petroglyphs are, right? Pictographs are painted. Petroglyphs are carved. a sign with curves. Yeah, curved? No, carved. There's a big hole in the road. Look at these rocks. Oh, look, we get stripes on the road now. Pretty. And cracks all the way across it. Yeah, the road's not in great shape. And there might be falling rocks, apparently. And of course, I'm getting hungry. But we're going to go do the walk first because it's getting hot out. And then we'll make some breakfast before we leave. And I'm looking forward to breakfast because I've got a fresh loaf of sourdough bread and freshly made blackberry preserves yesterday. I should have filmed the preserves for you. It was kind of funny. In fact, I need to go back to that video and put a pinned comment in it because I had said that you could do it with up to a pound of fruit. Well, you can, but not in a pint-sized jar. Look at these pretty rocks. I know. Are you looking at the pretty rocks? You're barking because it says you're going to arrive at our destination, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good job. Pictograph Cave State Park. Big bada boom. Yeah, that was a big bump. Okay. Okay, kid. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, I hope we can park. So you can see the parking area down there, which is fairly below our level here. Can you take him and keep him short, please? Of course. And we can take a look up here at these rocks. And this is what we're looking at. What you can see, this paved trail is all uphill. So I'm kind of introducing you right now because as I continue up this hill, I'm going to lose the ability to be able to speak without huffing and puffing too much. So I'm going to give you an idea right over here of what our trajectory is. See that cave up there? Can you see those people walking down? No, of course you can't. Here, let me zoom in. Now can you see them? Center screen. You know, those little ants moving? Yeah, that's where we're going. And as I said, it's all uphill. And then we're gonna come down the gravel path over there. But look at how beautiful these rock formations are. This is absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And we're gonna beware of rattlesnakes. Yes, we are. Hey, we'll see you at the top. Well, pictographs are much more difficult to see than petroglyphs, but I want to give you an example. Right here in the center, see the red up there? And here's an example of what that looks like closer up, because that's as close as I can get to it. And then there's some... And then over here we've got some more. Yeah, those are like rifles. And again, I'm going to show you the expanded view here. And then it also says that many of the images have been lost to time and or vandalism, which of course is one of the issues with pictograph versus petroglyphs. And I imagine that this rock wall here is meant to stabilize the wall behind it, would be my guess. What's your guess, Kit? What do you think? You gonna give me your opinion? You gonna tell the people what you think? Okay, good job. Right, I'm definitely huffing and puffing. There's the rigs down there. Look at this elevation, guys, and look at this little narrow trail. I think that's pretty narrow. We know how I feel about heights. We just came up this steep bit. Kit, you got to go around.
Go around. Thank you, baby.
All right, I need 2 hands for this, and I've only got 1, so we're done filming for the moment. All right, so I think this used to tell us what we were seeing here, but as you can see, it's not telling us much of anything now. So here's the cave. That's it. I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at exactly. So this is what we got. Beautiful landscape and rocks though. So I think it's totally worth the walk. Of course, I say that now, we haven't started down this hill yet. We took the unmaintained path coming over here. Oh, yeah. Even just starting here, it's steep, and then it gets a whole lot steeper because we can see the end of it way down there. All right. Well begun is half done. I guess we better get to it. Here we are, almost back at the bottom. Here's the bottom. And if we look way over there, that dark spot right in the middle, that's the first cave. And then we went along the edge, and we actually followed the non-maintained trail along the base of the cliff over to the second cave where we really couldn't see anything. But if you look where these people, oh, they just stopped in between those 2 rocks now in the center of the screen. This is the maintained trail that comes over here and then winds very steeply up to get a view of the cave up there. So I think the non-maintained trail made for actually a much easier walk, even though it was very narrow. And it was narrow and unmaintained enough that I didn't want to try and film at the same time that I was trying to hold on to the kit string. So there you go. I think this will complete our visit at Pictograph Cave State Park once we've paid our fee. And then we'll be getting on our way. I'm ready for a beer. That's where we're planning to stay tonight, at a brewery and casino. So that should be fun. Well, it's great that they had RV parking here, and this was a lot of fun, by the way. But they've made their parking kind of impossible to get out of. So that was fun. And I need to put my seatbelt on. So we have, let's try not to drive off the road. We have 146 miles, which is theoretically going to take us 2 hours. Rough and curvy road ahead. I imagine it'll take us quite a bit longer than that, probably. This says we'll arrive at 2 o'clock. So we're going to just have a nice leisurely drive, and if we see anything along the way that's worth looking at, we got plenty of time to stop and do that if we want to. Oh, I meant to take my shoes off and put my Crocs back on. Oh well. I hate wearing shoes. I don't like wearing shoes. I don't like wearing pants, long pants. I don't like wearing long sleeve shirts. I don't even like wearing t-shirts anymore. Oops, big hole. Big bump. Look at the pretty cliff faces. So that was quite a nice hike. And even the paved pathway was quite steep. But glad we did it. We really only saw pictographs in the first cave. I'm not sure I saw any in the second cave. But just doing the walkway was nice. Look at that view. Just look at it. cool. All right, so we're gonna get back out here. I think we get on the freeway again, and then we'll just pound out some miles. Well, we have retraced our steps on I-90 East, but we are now going to continue on I-94 East, heading toward Bismarck, actually heading toward Miles City, where we plan to spend the evening. That way, 90 East lies Little Bighorn. That's where we came from yesterday. So today, we're aiming for Miles City. We're going to spend the evening at a casino and brewery, and eat and drink and be merry. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. So, about 2 more hours of driving to get there, probably. Driving time, but we're going to stop along the way. Oh, this is part of the Lewis and Clark Trail, too. Interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely want to stop. I typically try not to drive more than about an hour at a time. Otherwise my sciatica kicks up and that's no fun. So, that's fine. We certainly have gotten to see some very cool places this summer. Okay, well, we saw a sign on the freeway for Pompey's Pillar, and we have no idea what it is, but it says Pompey's Pillar National Monument, and it's really a very short detour, so we decided to come check it out. And oh, by the way, we're on Fly Creek Road. That's appetizing. Pretty sure I don't necessarily... Oh, and we're on the Lewis and Clark Trail here, too. Interesting. Fly Creek doesn't sound like a place that I would necessarily want to camp. Ooh, there's a little trailhead down there. I bet we could get away with camping there. Not that we want to. Although it's a pretty small parking area. I think we're going to get a good view of it as we're going in here, but I'm still not sure what it is. And I hope this isn't like Chimney Rock, where it turns out that it's not really a national monument and you have to pay separately. Oh no, it's a national monument. Well, I wonder why we didn't see this to begin with. Stop, 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 stop. Okay. It's okay, kid. Welcome to Pompey. Can you stop yelling, please? Makes me wonder who is Pompey and why does he rate a pillar? Well, there's a scenic viewpoint, but not much parking. I guess we could trail from there. A few people parked down here. Okay. I know, it's telling us what to do, isn't it? Isn't it? Nope, no whining. No whining. Everything is fine, kid. Well, this is a very nice picnic area they've got. I'm going to go all the way around. Well, here's a recreation of a teepee in metal. Kind of interesting the way they've done it. I like it. You don't usually see things like this. And where are we, you might wonder? Well, We are at Pompey's Pillar National Monument. Probably one of those monuments you've never heard of. I know I hadn't. And here you've got, Montana Indians all over the place. So we're probably, we're in between Billings and Miles City. We're probably still closer to Billings. I'm guessing we're probably right about here at this point, because we haven't driven all that far. And we were driving along and saw the sign that said Pompey's Pillar. It's like, wow, wonder how big a detour that is. Oh, it's about a mile off the road, so not bad. And they have all these little signboards along the way telling you about the Lewis and Clark expedition. And this says something about Pompey's Pillar Farm, the Macy family legacy. Huh. Well, the Pompey Pillar Farm story is interesting and also kind of sad. Edward and Maggie Macy established the first farm at Pompey's Pillar in 1904 with their 4 children because Maggie and her children had ancestral rights to settle in the Yellowstone River Valley even after the tribe ceded 1.1 million acres of its reservation to the United States. They worked hard to provide a better living. They built a warm and loving home where they fostered a love for music in their children, who took the train to Billings for lessons and played for dances as far away as Custer, 25 miles east. It must be Custer, Montana, not South Dakota, I'm guessing. In 1923, economic hardships caused the family to lose part of the farm to a mortgage holder. The next year, both Henry Kirk and George died unexpectedly. Following these devastating losses, Edward and Maggie moved to the town of Pompey's Pillar. There, Ed ran a pool hall and soda fountain and later a mail route. Even as Pompey's Pillar passed into other hands, the Macy family legacy remains part of the rich and diverse human experience at Pompey's Pillar National Monument. Okay, this is quite interesting. I guess let's give you a view of the pillar. And of course, we still don't know why Pompeii. Oh, it looks like we can walk out to it there, so I kind of want to do that. Nice green grass. So dedicated to the vision and spirit of the individuals who passed this way and left an indelible mark on the history of this great nation. Held in trust by the U.S. Department of the Interior, Bureau of Land Management for those who follow. So I think it was established as a monument first in, or a national landmark, I don't remember which, in 1965, and then became a monument in 2001. But look at this. Just look at it. All right. Am I going to go for it? I want to see how bad it is. How about that? Can't be that bad, right? We'll see how long it takes before I start huffing and puffing, and then I'll have to pull the audio out of this. We shall see. I still have no idea why it's called Pompey's Pillar. I guess I'm going to have to look that up on the internet. And of course, this is tall. We know how I am about heights. I'm trying not to look down. Whew. It's a lot of steps. Wow, I can't do it. I gotta turn around. All right, so safely back down. I actually got up pretty far But then there was a section of handrail missing, and that just freaked me out, and my knees started shaking. I thought, you know, I don't really need to, you know, scare myself that much. So, had we been able to get up to the top, we might have been able to see some of the inscriptions, but not this time. Maybe another time. You never know. Let's go back and find Kit and Barb. Yeah, we'll go over here. It was a worthy attempt. Here, let's have a kind of close up. There you go. We'll pretend I saw it. Well, what we're not seeing is the river that's basically directly in front of us. And so, this whole park is all about the Lewis and Clark expedition when Clark had split up from Lewis, and this was their canoe camp. So, pretty interesting overall. We didn't go to see the river. I started to walk up the pillar to take a look at it. It's another one of those rocks where people have inscribed their, you know, petroglyphs and pictographs, and people have inscribed their names and stuff, like Clark put his on there from his expedition. And I got probably a little over halfway up, and there was a section of guardrail missing, or handrail missing, and I'd been doing okay, but man,
Say a command.
my legs started shaking. Fear of heights. And I decided, discretion being the better part of valor, I'd better come back down. The thing that really pleased me though was, even a year or two ago, I would not have been able to get nearly as high, as fast as especially as fast as I did it this time. I just walked up like it was no big deal until I ran out of handrail. But as I said, I'm pretty pleased with that. Look at this landscape. Just look at it. So does this mean maybe we're going to be leaving all of the grasslands behind? Man, we've seen a lot of grasslands. But I guess when we move into North Dakota and get over to Theodore Roosevelt National Park tomorrow, that we're going to be in the North Dakota Badlands, which I really don't know anything about yet. Perhaps I'll do a little research tonight. But it sure is pretty. It's particularly pretty out to the left, where I can't really point the camera very easily for you. Well, the exit coming up is for Custer, Montana. We've been to Custer, South Dakota. The only thing advertised as an amenity for Custer, Montana was a Cenex gas station. Let's see what we can see as we go by the exit. Yeah, it looks pretty small. Although I suppose it might be bigger to the right of us. But not much. It looks like it's, you know, maybe half a mile in one direction and 3 blocks in the other direction. So not what I'd call big. And that was Custer. I wonder if every state in the area got its own Custer. So this white truck that I passed a few miles back picked up speed again, and then came up on my tail just before this rest area. I thought he was going to hit me. It was kind of terrifying. And then he pulled off at the rest area right behind me. He had backed off a little bit, but he pulled off at the rest area and parked right next to me. And there were plenty of other open spaces, so that was a little concerning as well. But he's still at the rest area, so probably I had nothing to be concerned about. But, you know, you never know. Well, of course, as I turn the camera back on, the landscape does start to change a little bit. But what I've been thinking about is the fact that I've been watching Chrome on YouTube, Van City Vanlife, and he's got a brand new van, and he is driving all the way across Canada to Toronto, I think, to get his build out done. And he's been driving through the plains for the last couple of days, and, you know, kind of complaining a little bit about how featureless it is, which is much the way I've been feeling, because we've just been driving through endless plains. And then it occurs to me, you know, I'm in Montana, I'm not that far south of, Canada. Canada. So not a big surprise that I'm driving through the plains as well. Just a thought. I'll tell you what, I-94 seems to have plenty of rest areas, although this one is 25 miles from the previous one, I think, and now the next one is 78 miles, which is well beyond where we're stopping for the evening. In fact, we have 27 miles to go, and then we are finished for the day. And once again, I am very, very tired. I'm not quite sure why. And so I'm playing old music and singing along at the top of my lungs, enjoying Tom Lehrer, which I think, I need to look up and see when this album is from, but I think it was probably mid-60s, maybe? So, pretty long time ago. I can still remember, yeah, all those things. Alright, maybe the landscape is changing a bit. Look at what we got up ahead of us now. Not sure you're really getting the same view I am, because it doesn't look nearly as detailed in the camera lens. But I see some greenery out there, and I see some hills rising up above. And we've got the big river off to our left, which is the Yellowstone River. We've had a couple of glimpses of it as we've been going. That's been quite nice. Oh, and it looks like we're about to get another one, so I'm going to leave the camera rolling for at least a minute. Look over there to the left. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? I'm not sure if you can or not, actually. I can see it, and it's beautiful. And I think we're still on the Lewis and Clark Trail. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so we're going to pound out a few more miles and then be done for the day. So of course I have no idea, because I never really do any research, but I wonder if this is maybe the beginning of the Badlands. Could be. It's pretty. And I have to say, I really appreciate, and I'm very grateful for my ability to be able to explore so much of our country. I never imagined as a child, or even a young adult, or even a middle-aged adult, that I would spend this much time traversing the highways and the byways and, you know, seeing all the things, doing all the things, and being able to do it at a pretty leisurely pace, which is so different from being on vacation. Oh look, we're in Custer County. Alrighty. And I thought we were going to be sleeping in North Dakota tonight, but no, we're still going to be in Montana. And I guess that wasn't the beginning of the Badlands, but perhaps just a little misplaced slice. I don't know. It was interesting looking. Well, after what feels like an interminable time on the highway, we're arriving at Miles City, Western Cultural Area. So finally we're getting off the interstate. Yay! We still have 3.5 miles to go to get to our destination, but that's okay. Historic district. landscape, right? We picked up a little change in the hillsides. It's not just grass anymore, so yay for that. And I am way ready to be finished driving. So we got 3 miles to the historic district, which leads me to believe that we probably have some fairly boring farmland between now and then. So I'll pick you up when we get closer. Oh, we do have a train going under the road over there. Look over to the left. 2 engines in the front. Okay. It's kind of an attractive little town. Yeah, look at that. I don't think I have to stop here. Oh good, we're almost there. Our site is right up ahead here. So let's figure out where we want to park. Tilt works. Well, we got 2 RVs in the back already. Well, as Donna would say, this is where I live, at a derelict train station. Oh wait, and a harvest host location called Tiltworks. It's a brew pub and casino. So we're gonna go in here and check it out and have a little fun. Yeah, good luck with that door, huh? Okay, I guess she's leaving without me.